Hey everyone, this is Paul. Welcome to Intro to DJing, and what I want to do in this video is show you how to do loop catch. And the reason loop catch is really effective and really helpful is there are times you're going to want to basically set a loop but not have to hit it at the right time. You want to be able to activate the loop, and then when the track gets to that point in the loop, it'll go ahead and start the loop without you needing to actually press the button. So I often like doing this transition from Party Rock Anthem into Cupid Shuffle. I'll go ahead and loop this part. Every day I'm shuffling. And basically start the Cupid Shuffle at that point. Now, if I'm playing the track normally, often what I will do, if I didn't have loop catches, I would actually have to press this loop button right at the right time. So this is what it would look like.
Shake that.
And then here we go. Boom.
Every day I'm shuffling. 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 Every day I'm shuffling.
So you kind of get the idea. Once again, we want to set this loop and we want it to reach this loop at that particular time. Now, of course, you can't always press this button, but sometimes you may want a loop at a shorter amount of time, and this button here on the DJ FLX4 and most other controllers will always set a 4-beat loop by default. So the way we can do this in Serato is if we're here in our queue mode, all we need to do is first go over to our saved loops and actually first save the loop that we eventually want to use. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is turn on my loop, find the place that I want to have it, and then I'm going to go ahead and click the plus button to save this as a loop. Now what you see here, there are two buttons. There's loop active. This is a loop active and catch, and then loop jump. Now what loop active does is it turns the loop on and off, meaning once the playhead gets to the loop, it'll go ahead and start looping, whereas loop jump will actually turn the loop on and jump to where the loop is. Now, if I'm playing the track and I activate the loop jump button,
Every day I'm shuffling.
this is not what I want it to do, because then I would just basically have the same problem as before. I would need to hit this button right at the right point. Whereas loop catch is what it's going to do is turn on the loop, but it's not actually going to enable the loop until the track gets to that particular point. So take a listen to what happens here. I'm going to go ahead and enable it.
Shake that.
Every day I'm shuffling. Every day I'm shuffling. Every day I'm shuffling. Every day.
And you saw, once again, what I did here is just basically by turning this on, it set the loop and turned it on like so. Now, one of the cool things about the DJ FLX4 and most other Serato controllers is once you have this loop saved, if you want to just activate the next save loop you have in loop active mode, all you need to do is hold down shift and press your 4-beat exit. And you can see this button, it says loop active underneath. And what this will do is basically activate the next loop that is coming up. Now, if you've loaded a track and you're past that loop and you try to do this, basically what's going to happen is it will still activate the loop, but it won't jump to it. You can also, if your loop is not active, you can actually select which loop you want to make active by basically using these buttons here to basically select which loop you want to activate. But in this case, by default, it will activate the next or the first loop that you have in your track, and it will activate it but not jump to it. So that's how you use loop catch here in Serato. Hope you found this helpful. I'll see you in the next video.